Okay, our philosophy lexicon entry for today is Gnosticism. I'm going to give you three different definitions of Gnosticism because it's a term of some general applicability. John Carlson, whose book Words of Wisdom we've already discussed, defines Gnosticism as a claim of direct and positive knowledge of God. You will remember that John Paul II in Fides et Ratio notes that the Church has always rejected all forms of Gnosticism because it rejects or ignores the limited and received character of our knowledge of the divine. We can only ever have analogical and indirect knowledge of God. Any claim to know God directly is going to be Gnostic in this sense. Eric Voegelin, the great 20th century historian, for any of you who have read him, discusses extensively Gnosticism in politics, and he associates political Gnosticism with claims of a direct vision of the truth without the need for any critical or rational reflection. He associates this with the rise of 20th century ideologies, including communism and Nazism, and as the ideologue seeks to transcend the disorder of the world by implementing politically some vision of the truth, which is apprehended directly in this Gnostic fashion. The definition that I would give you, in addition to these two, which are both helpful to know, is Gnosticism is the false doctrine that human beings can be saved through knowledge, Greek root gnosis. This amounts to a philosophical type of heresy, and we see it present, I think, in every age of the Church. We see it in the ancient times, early Gnostic heresies, and I think if Voegelin is correct, we see this slide into Gnosticism in a lot of 20th century political ideologies. That tells me that Gnosticism feeds somehow into a deep tendency of the human spirit, specifically our tendency to take our own intellectual lives too seriously, or to take them to be more than they are. I think it's the kind of, this is the spiritual hazard of the philosopher, or of the person of knowledge, of the scholar, or the wise man. I would, in closing, give you three clues for recognizing Gnosticism or Gnostic-influenced religions, including Gnostic varieties of Christianity. I think in every religion in which Gnosticism has achieved a foothold, you find a couple of markers. And the first is a strong emphasis upon knowledge as a key to drawing closer to God. Especially secret knowledge. You can see conspiracy theories, and one unnamed contemporary religion in which one has to, reportedly has to pay a great deal of money to learn the secret doctrines at the heart of the religion. It's worth noting that this has never been the case with Christianity. You see the letters of Paul. He says, I preached openly all the full truth of Jesus Christ. There are no secret doctrines that are only for the initiates, only for the elect, only for the priests. Everybody can know everything that there is to know in the teachings of our religion. The second, I would say, is a sharp divide in Gnostic religions between the elect and the non-elect. That is, between those who know or are capable of knowing and those who do not know or who are incapable of knowing. You might think about this. If salvation comes even partially through knowledge, then intellectuals have a tremendous spiritual advantage over non-intellectuals. That they have the ability to know these things that are necessary to know God, to draw close to God. So there'll be a sharp division between the priestly class or the philosopher class and people who are outside of it. And that sets up what I would call the third indication of Gnosticism, which is the ignorant generally are called to serve the wise in Gnostic religions. That is to say, they are expected to devote themselves to the service and the convenience of the people who are uniquely able to draw closer to God. This again contrasts with historical Christianity, where the Lord constantly remarks or repeatedly remarks that the Gentiles lord it over each other, but it won't be that way with you. He raised them when you will be the servant of the others. So those are three things I have to say about Gnosticism. That'll be it for today.